welcome to episode 4. Episode 3 of River City Knits podcast. I'm Elisa.
I'm Enid.
And I'm Amanda.
We're here this sunny afternoon here in San Antonio. We thank you so much for joining us again. We are glad you enjoy our shenanigans. Got lots of fun stuff for today's show. And lots of giggles for today's show. So tune in and enjoy what we've got to talk about. I don't know if we want to start with follow-ups. I said it again. Finished objects. I see FO and I say follow-ups, which would be FU, which would be something different.
Follow-ups.
Whatever way you want to look at it.
Finished objects.
Special ops.
Special ops.
Okay.
Thursday next.
I'll go ahead and start. Okay. Okay, so I actually did finish something since the last time we were here. Those socks out of Jinx yarn that I was working on, I finally finished. They were missing a heel for, 6 months, maybe. So I finally got that done. And as you can see, they're huge. They're way too big for my feet.
Oh, no.
And apparently I knit them with a size bigger needle than I usually do. So I actually put them in the dryer. I know you can all stone me after this episode is over.
Shame.
But I hand washed them.
Shame. Oh, sorry.
They're going to shave my head and march me through the streets.
Naked.
But I hand washed them and then I put them on the blocker and it still didn't like it. So I put them in the dryer. I actually put them in the dryer twice.
So find somebody with bigger feet.
I know. They're going to go into the gifting pile.
But it sure is soft. It's really nice.
It is, and it's a really pretty yarn by Jinx Yarn, and the colorway is Festivus. I think I bought this last holiday season. It's usually she'll start putting these out around the holidays. I know Gingerbread Man or Gingerbread House is another one that I own that I know she's already come out with. So be on the lookout if you're interested in this one here. But after I knit these and tried to put them on and they didn't fit, I decided that I needed to make socks, molds, templates for all of my family. So I did Molly's tiny little foot. And then I realized that if you get those no-show socks, they already come with one in them.
That's brilliant.
I had a bunch of them laying around in my closet, so it's a pretty good match for my foot.
For your foot.
And you could trim or width-wise, it's kind of weird, but as long as you're not stretching your sock over this, you should be fine.
So what size needle did you use if you're saying because you knit with a 1?
My jam is a 1.5. I really enjoy a 1.5. If it's thinner than usual, I'll go down to a 1. I think this time I might have been using a 2.
Wow. And
no, I was using a 2 because I did measure it. And I don't know how I got confused.
Yeah, so I've mentioned this before. I knit really tight. So my sock needle size is a 2.75 millimeter, which is for many people that's like super huge. So,
and what is that US?
2?
It's a 2.
It's a 2. Mm-hmm. So in fact, the shawl I've been working on, it called for a size 3. Size 3 needle, and I thought, well, I know what my sock yarn looks like. So I went up 2 sizes on my Hitchhiker Beyond. It calls for a size 3, so I'm using a size 5, and I'm pretty happy. The pattern kind of shows you how you can weigh as you get to different sections to figure out which third of the pattern you're on. And I'm on point using a needle that's 2 sizes larger.
What are you using there?
1.5.
1.5. See, this is what I like. This is generally what I use, and I really like it. The 2.
1.25 or 1.5?
1.5.
1.5. It's always amazing to me just our different gauges, and
I have like 4 sets, and I'm usually Magic Loop's been something I learned in like the last year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was a sole DPN knitter, toe up, cuff down, whatever on DPNs. So I have like 4 sets of those Brittany Birch, like 1.5, like the short, like the 5-inch ones, like the glove size, because I like the shorter ones. The 6 or the 7-inch seems like, and I don't have big hands.
Right.
So it just seems like I'm going to stab myself in the eye with them.
I just drop stitches galore when I used the DPNs. I think you guys remember that. So they were
It was
things
not
were just
pretty.
things were just kind of like what like at
What's
each
going on there?
needle had a drop stitch. And you said you used an afterthought heel with that sock.
I did do an afterthought heel because I like to keep the stripe. If you do the afterthought heel, you can continue. I've had other ones where I actually matched up the pattern, but I didn't want to be that tedious this time. But if you do the afterthought, it keeps the stripe.
I think that's why I like the afterthought.
And there's something I like about continuously knitting the whole body of the sock.
When you're
If
doing
you just go
Right.
toe to cuff, and then you come back and add in all the little extras.
Stacy talked about a heel, that Sylvia Harding heel.
Yeah, and
Double gusset.
is it a double gusset where you don't actually you don't pick up stitches
I haven't bought the
along
pattern
the
yet.
side? I haven't either, so
I haven't looked at it
curious
yet.
about that. But I think there's also a high arch modification to that pattern, which I'm interested in because I have pretty high arches.
Well, I have my finished object. I've been working on these for a while. Well, I got these actually on the first day of summer. It was a gift as part of a swap. Hot Pink Sock Review on Instagram kind of led a summer craft along, and it was just a stripy, fun summer craft along. So anything stripy. It could be blankets, it could be hats. I chose socks, and I think this was the only pair I finished during the time of the craft along. Or maybe no, I didn't even finish it within that time. So it was another pair. I finished one pair. But this was a gift. We did a swap, and she gifted this to me. This is from, the colorway is called Harvest Moon. I always forget. I just want to call it Autumn. And it's from Manic Pixie Dreams Yarn. She's based out of Colorado. And Stephanie gifted them to me as part of the swap. And I loved them, and I was super excited because it was middle of summer, but I was casting on and kind of working on a project that's very autumny, so really liked them.
Look how good. Did you do fish lips kiss?
I did a fish lips kiss. I like doing that, and I made sure that I started. I'm usually not this. I just made sure I started with the same color
because this one is on point.
Yeah,
That just you couldn't have planned that more perfectly.
and
if
I
you
didn't.
tried.
It just happened. I don't.
But they look good. Yeah.
So no, this one's a little bit
close,
like
but
2
still,
rows off.
They
so
look good.
That's good.
And my vanilla sock is the vanilla latte sock. I like having that bit of ribbing on them, and I really enjoy them. So that's my finished objects. But I really like swaps. So that's something I've really kind of enjoyed through Instagram. I get on Ravelry and then I forget about Ravelry, but I'm always like, Instagram's like my happy place. So in fact, I tell family and friends, I'm like, you probably don't want to follow me on Instagram. I kind of want yarny, like-minded folks who can appreciate and not make fun of.
The yarn people a lot.
Yeah, well, yeah, because sometimes I feel like, you know, I see
locals.
my family in real life and they're like, you're just blah, blah, blah so much about yarn. And it's like, well, yeah, that's my happy place. So, but there's a couple of swaps that I'm kind of prepping for and getting ready for. One is a really big commitment swap that I've been doing this past year, and I've signed up again for next year, and it's a birthday swap. So they're each month had a birthday girl who's interested in either knitting and crocheting, and so it's a big commitment, and Yarntasia's the one who's organized it, also on Instagram. And so each month there's a birthday girl, and every other girl who's part of the swap then showers that person with gifts. So we've pretty much committed to a skein of yarn, and then we talk about things that we like, or if we have other crafts. We also try and put a homemade item in there, a hand knit or something. One girl does cross stitch, and she made me this beautiful little sampler type thing that I keep in my office. I love it. Madame Rouleau. So
That's pretty.
yeah, it's really neat, and it's been kind of fun because we've kind of like gotten to know each other really well because it's been this whole year-long commitment. So October is Luann Knits. It's her birthday, and I enjoy her Instagram feed because she has a miniature schnauzer and his name's Chewy, and so there's always like Chewy's adventures and then her knitting, and then it's a lot of fun. So so we kind of create a list of things we like, things we don't like, what our little fandoms are as well. So yeah, so will she get it before we... So the person who was September really likes Legend of Zelda, so, and she's into craft beer, so I found a pint glass that had Zelda on it. Ooh. So that was kind of part of the little extra. So you buy the yarn, but you also do some fun little extras as well.
Did you go to Dragon's Lair thing?
No, I went to Amazon. Because
Amazon?
Because, yeah, I didn't know, because Dragon's Lair, it's a local comic book shop, so they have comic books, and they've got some stuff, but I didn't know if they would have, like, a pint glass that had Zelda on it. I wasn't sure.
I'm sure they do. We have a Triforce. My daughter has a Triforce nightlight.
Shot glasses.
We bought. I don't know where we got that GameStop. So Legend of Zelda fan, if you're watching, my husband actually finished Breath of the Wild Friday night. It was a huge deal at about midnight that he finished the final guy and Zelda got released. So now he's very sad.
Oh, I would be like, yay, that's awesome. Sad. But no, that's sad.
He's sad because he's done. He's been playing it since launch. And he finally finished. And I keep telling him that there's another expansion coming in December.
But he can't wait till December.
He doesn't want to wait till December.
When was launch?
Launch was back in March.
Wow.
So, and he's a college professor and he doesn't have a lot of free time. But it's a massive game. It's huge.
I've never played. But I mentioned it to a couple of coworkers and they were like, "Oh my gosh, Zelda!" So they were super excited.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
It is. What do you call it? What did Sal call it?
An MMORPG?
Side-scrolling?
No, it's the first Zelda that is not
side-scrolling.
I don't remember if the last one was
side-scrolling. It's got you just follow the little person sideways.
No, it's not side-scrolling.
You see them running sideways. So the
like Super Mario.
That's a very
that's
Sonic.
Okay.
No, it's not side-scroll, and I want to say, I mean, it's expansive and it's huge. It has a huge map. Huge map.
What's an MMORPG?
Massive multiplayer online role-playing game. Like World of Warcraft, if you've ever heard of that. That's probably one of the most recognized names.
It reminds me of Rodents of Unusual Size when you say that.
Rodents of Unusual Size.
I'm just going to do a Princess Bride little...
So my geek flag is apparently flying today.
That's awesome.
And Destiny 2 launched. I haven't done much knitting because Destiny 2 launched, and I've pretty much spent the last 4 days playing PlayStation and Destiny.
That sounds like fun.
It's fun. I don't get a whole lot of time to play, but I like to take a break every now and then and just go blow some things up. Great stress reliever. It's great.
Is that one you're shooting? First shooter?
Yes, it's a first-person shooter.
I can't do those. Usually my little soldiers are either looking straight up in the air, walking sideways, or down, and then I end up then I pull out and I see myself sitting in a corner, facing the corner with the gun. It's just tragic. So my kids are like, "Move that thing, go this way," and I'm like, "How?" And my little person's just going.
That's what Molly likes to look up and then turn him around. She's like, "I'm gonna make you dizzy," and I'm like, "If you don't stop, I'm gonna throw up." I swear, I would really be sick.
That's hilarious.
My favorite's Lego. All the Lego games. So we had the Lego Hobbit and the Pirates of the Caribbean and Lego Harry Potter.
We have the Lego Worlds. I think it was the last one they put out. But it's so frustrating. Like there's very little instruction, and my 8-year-old just can't stand it. She's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I'd help you, but I don't know what to do either. So
you're like, we're in the same
The
spot.
Harry Potter Lego game is really like long, and there's tons of things to do on it. That's a lot of fun, but I haven't done it in forever. So they got a new Xbox One, so it disappeared and lost all my progress.
All your progress.
Oh well.
Have y'all done any swaps?
No swaps for me.
I haven't done any swaps. I did the get your yarn wishes granted.
Oh, that one's fun.
That was a lot of fun, and I didn't really ask for anything. I didn't need anything, but I did actually have somebody ask, like, specifically request my yarn. And how do you turn that down? Like,
that's
your
pretty
wishes
awesome.
to get my yarn. Like, yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
Are they gonna do it again this year?
I don't know. I would assume so.
Yeah, it's been 2 years running. This past year, I gifted. I was traveling when it kind of like was posted on Instagram, and So I gifted a lot of patterns, which is a lot of
gift a lot
fun.
of
Yeah, I was able to gift a lot of patterns instead of worrying about shipping and trying to get it to someone quickly. So that was a fun way, and I kind of learned some new stuff with Ravelry on how to make a little wish list and stuff like that.
Yes.
And so every once in a while, I'll go into my own and kind of check it out just to kind of add a few on there. So just because it's always really cool. So I'm definitely getting like excited for the fall season and like Halloween.
Fall's
and
a lot of fun. There's all the holidays,
holidays.
and football and
I feel there's so much more ritual in autumn.
and we get to wear all our knits.
Yeah, reprieve from the heat.
I know northern knitters, y'all still get to wear some of your lightweight knits in the summer, but we could knit cotton all day long and you still would suffocate.
It's never sweater weather here.
Yeah, never.
Never sweater weather.
Sweater weather?
Sweater weather?
It's never sweater weather.
I have another swap that I'm doing again. It's the Yarny Advent Exchange, and Itty Bitty Blue Sky on Instagram organized it, and last year was her first year, and I think she got between 25 and 30 people to participate. This year she got over 100.
Oh, wow.
And so what I really like about it is it was back in July she kind of introduced it, and the idea is you spend the next couple of months gathering stuff for your swap partner, and you are to mail it even before Thanksgiving, because the idea is every Friday during December, so like Advent on Friday, you open up a gift, and it's at least a 20 20 grams of yarn, so a mini skein, and maybe whatever little fun stuff each week, and then on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, whenever you open gifts, you have a final full skein 100-gram type yarn, and that's really kind of cool. I really enjoyed it last year. I got to know the people. You work with two different people, so someone gives you gifts and then you give someone else gifts, so it's not a one-on-one exchange. So that's kind of cool.
Oh, I see.
So you're meeting two new people, and that was really cool. So last year I met Jay Bartolome. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. I just realized that. She's out of Seattle. And then Donna Lagden, who's in the Virginia area as well. So we had each exchanged and everything, and it's a lot of fun. So this year, the woman who is gifting me is Webster Street Knittery. She's a designer of shawls, and I actually knit one of her shawls on a knit along last fall. So I was a little starstruck and a little like, oh my gosh. So she's gifting me, and then I am gifting 2 sticks and wool and 2 sticks. And so we've been kind of chatting and stuff too. So it's a lot of fun because you're just meeting people from around the country. So if you have any cool swaps, please pass them along. I'm always interested in learning about them. It's a great way to meet people, I think.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I know there's other ones like FiberShare and a couple of ones like that, and those seem to be pretty involved. Like I've seen some of the packages that people have gotten from there, and they're pretty impressive.
Like multiple skeins, and hand spun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. It's really cool. I feel like FiberShare's too big for me. Like it's such a big group.
Right.
So I kind of like some of the smaller ones.
I always feel like I would disappoint someone.
I don't think so.
I doubt that. Your
that.
aesthetic's really, really cool.
Good.
Do you want to talk about some work in progresses?
What you got, Enid?
I'm still working on this hoagie thing.
The whole
But you're moving along.
But I'm
I
moving
know.
You're almost at the end.
It's this ribbing.
Yeah.
It's so, I don't know.
It's
I
tedious.
don't not like it. It's just kind of slows me down. Slows me down, man.
It's
It
tedious.
just slows me. I could just switch it up and do something else, but I'm halfway through it, so I'll just keep going. But yeah, that's all I got going on right now.
Don't you have something else going on?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
This is good, y'all. This is really good.
So y'all know, you've seen them, the Tata towels. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
It's for that problem when you get out of the shower, ladies.
I don't know.
It's to help you just cool off after the shower, but then keep that other area dry.
Does your water collect there?
We can have that.
I don't, and granted, I'm not
We'll let you
that
dry.
endowed.
So you dry it, and then you walk to the other side of the room to get your clothes, and it's like you never dried it. So it's that problem you have when you get out of the shower, and you just still, you gotta cool off. Anyway,
You gotta cool off.
You gotta cool
You
off.
gotta cool off.
So some really cool designer decided to make, instead of the towels, she made booby hammocks. That's the name of the pattern. It's on Ravelry. It's called a booby hammock. And I'm in the process of starting one. Obviously, I got a ways to go. This is the beginning. And I'm just using some yarn that I've had from way back. It's like, it's an Elan Esprit, Elan.com. But Cascade makes it's the same yarn. And Cascade's version is, it's on the tip of my tongue. But, what's it called? I got it over there. I can see it from here.
You can see it.
It's like it's a cotton with a little bit of latex or a little bit of elastic in it. And it's perfect for socks. And I've also done some chemo caps out of it. So this is a really nice, comfortable cotton yarn that's got some elasticity to it. But, yeah, so I'm working on the Tata towel. Tata booby hammock.
Booby hammock.
The Tata
That's
towel,
fine.
like inspiration, and it's by Leah Moore. You can get it on Ravelry for $2.99. It's kind of a fun pattern.
All I can think of is just swinging in your hammock.
That's basically what they're doing.
You're just swinging in the hammock.
That's hilarious. Just envisioning myself just dancing.
So
Swinging.
Whale. You can't move too fast.
No.
Something might.
maybe we should start requesting water absorbency percentages from yarn companies. How absorbent
well?
is
What's the
your
water
yarn?
capacity on this? But 100% cotton no bueno, because that will
It just repels.
it will it will grow,
Oh, that's true. It
and then
sag.
pretty soon you'll fall out of it. That could be tragic.
Just I can't.
These things are
I can't.
amazing looking, though. I really want to buy one of those.
A towel?
Because it's and I'm really curious to see how the
is
crochet
crazy.
pattern is going to come out.
If I get tired of
it's
making it, I'm just going to turn it into a
nifty.
hat. But
They're all over the sewing groups. I have
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
what
of
I'm
sewing
saying.
groups on Facebook, and those things are everywhere, along with all of the really entertaining conversations about, is this a thing and is this not a thing, and oh my god, you have pictures of your boobs out there, whether or not they're in a towel.
now the photo shoots for these towels are hilarious.
They are.
'cause, I mean, I'm not going to be lounging on the poolside with
We
my hammock.
Yeah, I mean, I would use it.
fully looking forward to your finished picture.
Your finished
on
object.
Instagram. I can't be the only one. I'll put that out there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I think of it as a utilitarian thing where you get out of the shower and you're still kind of doing stuff, getting ready
Like
or
the
whatever.
twisty hair thing.
Yeah, and it's
Yes.
just there to kind of keep skin separated. Too much information?
No, that's it.
Just gotta keep it
Separated.
separated.
Is that what that song was about?
Perhaps.
Yeah, I don't
I don't know. What are you working on?
I'm working on a sockhead hat. Just
You
a
had started
plain-
this last
sockhead hat. Those are
last-
awesome.
No, maybe I just saw it on Thursday.
I
at
think you
Stitch
saw
Night.
it Thursday.
Yeah, I saw it at Stitch Night on
I've
Thursday.
made a lot of progress. I think I started it right after I finished these, which was shortly after our last podcast. And this is a really old Dream in Color, I think. I've had it forever. And I made Molly a pair of leg warmers out of it when she was teeny tiny, like a 3 or 4 year old ballerina, and she was really short, because look how much of this I have left.
I don't think I knew 3 or 4 year old Molly yet.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I did.
I don't think so. But so yeah, I'm trying to use it up. It's one of the oldest things I think I have in my stash. So I'm trying to get out all the things that have already been balled up and partially used and all that good stuff.
It's pretty.
And
Purple's
Were you
pretty.
working on that Hexie Puff thing? Did you ever finish that?
Was it
happened
Hexie
to
Puff? No, it was the miter.
No, it was a mitered square.
Because there was a miter.
I still have it.
A mighty
I still
miter
have it. I started
atrocity.
I tried.
miter square blanket. Number 2 is good. I blanket number 1 suffered a horrible, horrible end. When I decided I didn't like one of the squares and I tried to remove it, and I ended up cutting the wrong thing and then unraveled like a whole bunch of other.
You people and your scissors with knitting.
It's cathartic, I'm telling you. You should steek. Everything should be steeked. I'm going to steek this hat. I don't know what I'm going to do, but
Why
I'm
are you
going
going
to
to stick a hat for?
I don't know.
You
I'll
already
put
got
in
a hole in it.
a ponytail holder. That's what I can do.
You're gonna
Somewhere for her ponytail
I made
to
a
come out.
ponytail holder
I'll
hat
stick it.
last year. That was
Then leave
fun.
it open.
I didn't leave it open. I got scissors on a
Pigtail
sock.
holder, so you can put a little.
Pigtail holders.
That'd be cute. I was trying to do an afterthought heel, and my surprise, my gauge was too tight, and I couldn't get the waist yarn out.
That was tragic.
I was like, well, maybe some scissors will help.
I saw the pictures. I was traumatized.
They're such pretty. It was a Simply Sock Yarn Company. Their colorway, and it was
Now,
like jolly.
How many
Christmas.
cuts did you make?
I just. I closed my eyes. I don't know.
You closed your Once I started cutting, I couldn't stop.
She was like, ah!
It's one of those, like, I really messed up cutting this, so let me cut a little bit more to see
Yes.
if it's better. And oh wait, now I got to do the other side.
Yes, it was horrible. Afterthoughts.
I remember that conversation. That was kind of funny.
Everybody was just traumatized at me.
I was
think.
like, how's the sock going? And she just looked at me with like
emoji eyes.
emoji eyes.
Deer in headlights.
Well, what had happened was.
What had happened was scissors. What do you mean scissors? Oh, good times.
So I've been working on the Hitchhikers Beyond shawl. It's coming along. I've passed the 1/3 mark, so you can see right here where it's changing to the next section. So I really, really love this pattern, and I believe I've mentioned before that this group I meet with on Saturdays.
No, I'm just breathing. Sorry.
Just breathing really hard.
I didn't mean to. Sorry, y'all.
So I really like the little peaks and the way the gray is kind of shaping up.
That's pretty.
It is. It's really pretty. I posted a little close-up of it on Instagram yesterday. And so it's real. Yeah, alpaca socks. It feels really soft, and it's a meditative knit. That's the best way I can. But I still have to keep track of numbers. So the little clicker thing that you gave us as a gift.
Oh yeah, your little finger clickers.
That has come in so handy because it's it's an 8-row pattern, but it's so easy because it's like kind of repetitive. That's like, was I on 2 or was I on 3? So,
oh yeah, it's easy to lose track.
Yeah, so that little clicker has really helped a lot.
Yay.
Talk about our giveaway we had on Ravelry. Thank you guys for giving suggestions. Awesome. I had never thought about the felted slippers, so there were several cool patterns for that.
Very cool.
I know Cats and Yarns, who's up in Maine, she's like, I think it might be too hot for a hat in Texas, in San Antonio. And that is true, but luckily I have a sister who lives up in DC and other friends who are in colder areas.
So some slippers might be cute.
I like the slippers idea a lot.
Right.
So that'd be kind of cool. Actually, I was thinking for my mom, so that my sister may not get a hat. It may be something for my mom instead.
Sorry, Laura.
So sorry, Laura. Like she even watches this, she won't even know.
She might.
But we wear
no.
jackets.
My
when it's
brother
70 degrees
watched.
outside.
Really?
Yes, he texted me, says I watched your show, and he
Shout out to Ruben.
Hi, baby brother.
And I know my mom was
Actually, I have
watching
a
this.
baby.
So hi, Mom.
Yay!
He said y'all were funny.
We are funny. So I went through and wrote the names, and I actually did do for every pattern. So if someone put in multiple patterns, you are in here multiple times. So you can choose.
You want to get salad? Cheers.
Sal, would you like to choose?
We have a live studio audience today, you guys. And this is Ina's adorable, adorable son, Salvador.
So why don't you stand over here by your mom?
And then you can choose.
That way you're in camera.
Here, I'll hold it for you. You just choose.
Okay.
He just did this thing with his hand.
Lulu.
Go in, go in,
You got the
go
mojo?
in.
Alrighty.
And the person who won was Ida Knits 27.
Ida Knits.
Ida Knits
27.
27. Congratulations.
Yay.
So you can direct message me through Ravelry or through Instagram, and I'll go ahead and get your mailing address, and we'll be sending you your fantastic prize, which is a Notions bag from Lone Star Arts. It is some fantastic Plum Deluxe loose tea in the Comfort Blend black tea. When Andy sent these to me, he said these were his 3 favorite teas, so it's been kind of fun. And then I have this little little chain from Yarnistry Shop in the UK. It has the Kitchener stitch in the background and a really cool laser cut design. So thank you very much, and please DM me either on Ravelry or on Instagram. Same handle, eGonzalez74.
Shout out to the Valley, Ida and the Joya girl, and all you guys.
Yay!
I hope I see you guys soon.
I know. Hopefully you guys will be coming up here to crawl because we'd love to see you guys. It'd be really awesome on a long weekend or something.
They have a whole group that comes up to DFW Fiberfest every year.
Nice.
And so I've been really lucky that there's a group from the Valley that comes up, and there's a group that's from the Dallas, McKinney area, and they're all around there. And we all stayed in the same hotel about 2 years ago. And so we kind of had a party in the lobby
Nice.
one night with a bunch. And it's fun. It's fun to catch up with everybody like every year because you see the same group and you can hang out and
You kind of make plans
have a
and
beer
stuff.
and
Did I go to that one? That was 2 years ago. No, it might have been 3 years ago. What I don't know.
yeah. So, but it's a lot of fun, and I love seeing all the.
One day
all
I'll
the
get to
groups that
go.
come out. It's a lot of DFW is a lot of fun. It's
nice.
just
DFW is during the pledge drive for work, so I'm working. I'm here at the station, so which is fun. It's pledge drive. It's always crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What else is up?
what else do we have? So I signed up for which something kind of intriguing. It's a read along, knit along.
yeah. So tell me about this.
So
I'm curious.
So it's kind of a mystery in a sense. We do know that it's a cowl. The final project will be a cowl.
Is it the one that's in the picture?
Yes. So, but you don't. It's kind of so it's hands occupied. So Heidi is the one who designed the pattern. You know, it's a cowl, but the photo, it's not like a super.
You can't see the detail.
Yeah, and so she's the book that's part of it. So it's a read along, knit along, and the book is called oh my gosh, I totally
Night
forgot it.
Circus.
Night Circus, which I've read once before, but people have been talking about the audiobook for it. So I bought the audiobook because that's the only way I get to knit and read. So that's what I'm kind of excited about. So I've read it once before, and it's a magical book. You've read it?
So is the audio like the audio is it has a good narrator?
Yes. So
It's
a lot of people were talking about the narrator.
The guy who narrated, I don't know if you remember the show Pushing Daisies, which was a brilliant show, but he narrated over Pushing Daisies,
Okay.
I think, and he also narrated maybe one of the Harry Potter books.
I believe that's what some people were talking about. Blah blah blah. Harry Potter narrator.
Yeah.
So, so I'm kind of excited. So she's Heidi. Hands Occupied she's based out of the Chicago area, and she teamed up with Leading Men Fiber Arts to kind of create some colorways. She had 5 colors to choose from. One was a red, it was just poison apple, and then a gray, which is London fog, and then there was a yellow and a green and a blue. No, I bought it. So
Wow, that's fast.
I know.
yes, like I ordered it and it was in the
Super
mail the
fast.
next day. So and also the guys from Leading Men are at Stitches this weekend.
They are.
So I've been having fun watching Living Vicariously through everybody on
Right.
Stitches. Thank you guys for posting stuff because it is a lot of fun to be able to watch it even if you can't make it. So so yeah, the guys they're up in Dallas, and so she announced it, I want to say like September 7th or so. She announced the mystery, read along, knit along, and then she posted about the colorway. So I went ahead and ordered it. It was a hard decision between Poison Apple, which is the colorway
That is
that's
a beautiful red.
Right.
It's a beautiful red.
I tend to wear bright colors, so I figured a neutral would be a nice thing to use for the cowl for myself. So I'd like to keep this for myself. And so she designed it, so we'll be getting the different clues, the different parts of the project every 2 weeks. It starts on October 2nd, and it's kind of, you will be reading also along, so she'll want us to be at a certain point in the story. So the pattern also kind of follows the story.
Oh, I see.
So there's a lot of thought into this. I'm really excited about it. So
I just kind of want to do that to see how it
pans out.
Not that I'd ever. Well, maybe we can.
So it starts October 2nd. This is a hefty 657 yards. So
wow,
600. It's 150 gram.
It's 150 gram skein.
Ooh, I had this really
give
gorgeous
it a kiss before I gave it to you.
Fuchsia color from Yarn Carnival. My girl Anna over at Yarn Carnival.
I bet that's a gorgeous.
That I bought years ago with the pattern and beads, but I never knit the pattern, and I think I used the beads for something else.
So you have 150 grams something.
So I have 150 grams of something.
That'd be kind of cool. And
their logo.
Yeah, Lady Man Fibers, they're also based out of Chicago. And then Heidi's also doing something with one of the local yarn shops. She'll be doing kind of like an in real life kind of meetup as part of the book and the knit along. So
that's really cool.
So if you're in the Chicago area, it's something definitely to kind of check out.
Chicago. I have family in Chicago.
Well, you should just go up there.
I think you should go visit on the times that she has her in real life knit alongs. So I'm kind of excited. So Cast On Day is October 2nd. There's still time to order yarn or do some stash diving. And check out her pattern. I can't remember what the pattern's called. Something Dreams. Hands Occupied. Look her up and just click through. Just click through. That's all I gotta say.
Is it on Instagram or Ravelry?
So both. Yeah, she's on both.
On Instagram, it's the picture with the girl looking,
which is Heidi,
with the red, beautiful cow,
and in black. She's wearing a black outfit. Yeah, it's really.
And she's blonde. I think she's blonde. It's a very striking photo.
Pretty.
Very striking. Yes.
Very, very nice.
So I'm excited about that. So Cast On.
It's very cool. So, do we want to talk about the rest of our October festivities?
Ooh, what's happening?
Well,
what's happening?
As you all know, October, or as we knitters like to call it, it's Socktober. So we're going to throw our hat into the Socktober knit along game.
Extravaganza.
So we're going to host a knit along for your socks over on our Ravelry group. I think the rules of Socktober is you cast on October 1st and you have to be done with a full pair of socks
October 31st.
And is there a definition of completely finished? Ends woven in, but it doesn't have to be blocked.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Ends woven in. I wove my ends in this morning because I was like, oh no. Because I'm sometimes known to have some string dangling on my cuff. Because I'm like, it'll get done.
In any sock. Shorty.
And
shorty, longy?
Shorty. Just whatever. I don't know that we put.
Yeah, we want to keep it. We want to keep it casual, and we also want to keep it. You can double and triple dip with other Socktober festivities that other people are hosting.
Do what you got to do.
So we'll have. So you can put your finished objects. We'll create a Ravelry group around October, for you to start, kind of putting in. So the prize is.
Ooh, you want to see? We're gonna unwrap this.
I know. So we met with Stacy of Mustache Yarn on Thursday evening. She joined us at our knit night, our stitch night, and it was a lot of fun.
And I know you're all jealous.
And
she lives here in town with us, so it's really easy.
And so she had it, and so I was like, what color is it? And I was like, this is what it's called. And they're like, open it up. I'm like, no, we're going to do the unwrapping. We're going to unbox during the podcast. So I was being super vigilant.
Fangirling.
I know I was.
She's fangirling.
I was.
She knows every colorway.
She owns
stories behind the colorways,
75% of them, which is totally.
She's
fine.
like, it's blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay.
So we had a really great time with Stacy, and we hope she joins us.
I think any colorway is a beautiful colorway.
I know.
Yeah.
Stacy, you're always invited to come to our stitch night.
Yeah.
There's always Kessel.
There's
always Kessel. And margaritas. So, here, you want to unroll it.
And anybody else in the San Antonio
area? Yes, anybody else in the San Antonio area.
Shoot us a message. All right, guys. Here we have it. And this is the family reunion colorway. And it's 12 even stripes. And this is part of is this the must match? Must match, which means that it's two 50-gram skeins that are an exact duplicate of each other. And how she does the sorcery, I don't even want to try to wrap my brain
She
around.
doesn't call it OCD anymore. She calls it
It's called must match.
Must match.
It used to be called the OCD skeins.
That's how.
And as a yarn dyer,
dated
that's
myself.
just a,
There's a pretty
like,
picture on there.
I don't know, it gives me a headache.
You can see.
thinking about it.
We'll do this again. I'm supposed to end the edits, take a picture of the stuff and put this over, but I can never do it. So
We'll figure it out.
We're gonna try it again.
So this is also part of her must knit collections,
Yes.
which is something new she has on her website. So she has, I'd say, about 8 to 10 different skeins.
Here, we'll leave it out.
We'll leave it out.
I'll
Yeah.
wrap it because the mic's gonna.
I didn't want it to get too crinkly. So her must knit collection, she has a lot of her really popular skeins, kind of like Dark Side of the Moon, Family Reunion, some other ones that kind of like always in stock, because it's like you go and you're like, oh, I need a mustache
nothing
fix,
there.
and there's nothing there. Maybe
You know the pain.
some people,
You know the
that's
pain.
what people may do. So
Nobody at this table.
nobody goes 3 times a week.
We don't even know
to
what you're talking about.
visits.
I've actually never even heard of mustache. Today. I'm kidding. Totally
So
just-
she has them. She's kind of keeping them in stock, so for people to be able to get their mustache fix. And if she does happen to sell out, there's a really cool button that it says "Alert me when product comes back in." So
Now
she
we
got
know-
all fancy with
Now
the
we
website.
know the secret.
so.
You know, do you remember when we were driving?
This is the first time I bought a mustache skein. So we were
yes.
driving. You tell the story.
It's a great
Ian.
story.
Who's telling the story? Me?
You.
The pink one? The Valentine's?
Yes,
Is
Enid
this
was
the first-
driving. That
Is
was
this
my
the first time?
that was my first time I ever got a
That
mustache
was the
skein.
first time you bought?
That was my first time you were with me.
I was there for the first.
So
And
we're
they were
driving.
driving.
So we're driving.
So
I'm
Enid's driving.
And she's like, I gotta buy some.
So I had
Tell a story.
so
Because I was driving.
because she was driving, and I had an alert reminder because I really loved it. Was a Valentine's skein,
Yeah.
and it was just these really beautiful shades of pink, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's like it went live. It was 3:00 or something. I don't know. So I was suddenly quiet in the car, probably.
Where were we going? We're going to.
I think we were New Braunfels.
We were going to New Braunfels.
Yeah, we were stopping over at Lucky You, and so I was really quiet and pressing a bunch of buttons on my phone. PayPal's dangerous, you guys.
Okay, I think there was another time where you actually pulled over on the side of the road and ordered one.
Oh, that was maybe a couple days later.
Possibly, but that must have been
I
when I was
remember
driving.
getting this
Because it was
text,
for
I
a
think you
St.
were
Patrick's
driving.
Day.
That was the St.
Yes.
Patrick's one.
Right? Because
And you pulled over on the side of the road because you texted me and said, I just pulled over on the side of the road to buy this.
But so she ordered the Valentine's, and then I was like, what?
So yeah, she was like, "Why are you so quiet?" Like you got really quiet, and I was like, "So I just ordered this mustache yarn."
And you showed me. I'm like, I want some too.
So I go back in and I'm like, and I press for another skein and I put in the comments, I was like, you may think I'm crazy. This isn't a duplicate. I am ordering this for Enid, but she's driving, so she can't shop and drive. And so,
That was funny.
and she sent them both together as one package. So that was the start of my mustache infatuation.
I took those socks and made toe up socks and super
They're like
long.
knee high.
Yeah,
right?
they're like knee highs.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
She's
Except I didn't increase the calf, so those stitches are like they're tight.
That's right. She did have a St. Patrick's
But they
Day.
stay up. That was the one that you pulled over for?
I think so.
I think so.
Or was it some Martian color?
I don't have a Martian. I don't have a
Don't we
Martian
have a
color.
You don't have the Martian? I have the Martian rainbow.
I don't have Martian rainbow.
I made baby socks for.
Oh, that's right, Joshua.
Joshua's.
There's a bartender at Blue Box where we sometimes hang out and knit.
Sometimes.
And he had a baby.
Oh, baby little
And
best.
So Enid made this cute little pair of socks. I made this huge blanket. It was a lot bigger.
You worked on that blanket for a long time.
I know. That was a lot of fun. That's a great blanket pattern. Okay, chevron. It's a chevron. So yeah, so we're really excited about our Socktober.
So if you want
Projects.
the details on that, whenever they come out, head over and join the Ravelry group. And lots of you already have, and that's awesome.
I know.
We
Thank
had
you
so
guys.
look at all the comments that we got for the last one.
We were really excited.
So I know y'all are gonna knock this one out of the park.
So yay, socks! I know somebody mentioned that they don't knit socks, so we'll probably do a shawl or something. at
A
some
shawl
point.
knit along will probably come.
That'll probably happen at some point.
There's some cool socks that you could do that are like knit flat. They're more slippers, but would that count, or it has to be a sock?
And there's some tube sock patterns out there too.
Tube
I
sock.
didn't
Oh, that's
realize
right. We
there
were
were
talking
tube
about
sock
that.
patterns.
Yeah.
With no heels.
No heel, just a
You
tube.
just knit a tube.
Which is great for little kids whose feet are
Make
constantly.
little kid tube socks.
It counts.
It counts. It'll count for sure. So also Stacy is launching a podcast on October 1. So that's really kind of cool. So we'll get to see Mustache back on the podcast.
Back on the podcast.
Which would be
so
nice.
good.
She's been out of the podcasting game for a while.
So that
and
should be
she's
cool.
one of the. She'll be another one from this area. And if you don't, most of you probably already watched Bookish Stitcher. Let me see if I can say that right. And Undead Yarn and Kitchen Stitches. And
There's a lot of really cool podcasts. In
They're
the
from
area.
Texas, San Antonio, Austin, Houston. Who else? I'm not forgetting Suburban Stitcher.
Has she been podcasting?
Gosh. I think.
Yeah, she's got a podcast.
She has a podcast.
I don't know. Yeah.
She does a lot of Instagram stories right now. But
Yeah, she does a lot of Instagram stories. So Stacy's podcast is called Little Skein and the Big Stash. And she's got 2 mini episodes that are up already. Minisodes. That's what she called them. So to kind of get little taste of what their podcast is going to be like.
She's doing it with Anne of Little Skein and the Big Wool. So that'll be pretty cool.
That's a cool name.
Mm-hmm. She does some really awesome
Little Skein
bags
and
and
Big
kits.
Stash.
And
That's the name of the podcast.
That's awesome.
So
That's a good blend.
yeah, it is. It's really cool.
It's hard coming up with names.
Yeah.
we went through, gosh, 20,
We went through
25 of them.
So I know some people had asked. I had heard a couple people like, "Why are you guys River City Knits?" And so we're.
This is what happened. No, I'm just kidding.
What happened?
What happened was
What happened?
So we live in the River City. San Antonio has a nickname called the River City. And so we're all here in San Antonio. So River City Knits just seem to kind of fit.
It's flowing. It's kind of a cool. I like the name a lot. It was funny because soon after we named it, Enid's like, I was driving and there was a truck that said River City Produce. And then there was another something that had a River City blah, 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 and River City Electric. And
everybody's got River City.
We're all River City.
Yeah, we have the San Antonio River that runs through.
It's that or Alamo, but we're not really,
It's the Alamo.
We're not really
Alamo
into
City.
Alamo.
I like River City.
San Antonio happens to have the Alamo in it, but we're not like Alamo proud. We're city proud. We're
city
proud of our
proud.
city. So
That is very true. So, anything else that we have?
What?
I don't know. Do we have
we?
anything else?
My thing?
Oh,
This thing.
We
American-
almost forgot this again.
yes. Again. We
Again.
almost forgot.
Again.
The American Heart Association.
The American Heart Association reached out to my shop, and they are doing a little hats, big hearts. Thanks, Amanda. Isn't that cute? Little hats, big hearts. Hat drive. Yeah.
Yes.
And so they will be doing a materials collection. For right now, look, if you want to participate, you can also check on there. Do they have a website?
I'm pretty sure they do.
The
Little Hats, Big Hearts at heart.org.
It's a nationwide initiative, and the idea is in February, all newborn babies are given a hat.
A little red hat.
A little handmade hat.
So they're looking for yarn that is acrylic or cotton, worsted weight or bulky. I think you can get away with a DK2 and knit and crochet. So if you want to knit a couple hats and or crochet a couple hats. But on the 20th, they're starting their materials collection, I believe. And then the 27th of October, they're doing a drive at the American Heart Association offices, and they're doing like a little class to get you going. If you don't really know how to knit or you're not quite sure how to get started, they're going to be there. There will be a couple of teachers there to help you get started. So I think it's a really cool thing, and I'm looking forward to working with them. Lisa's helping me out too, so she knows a little bit more about it than I have. I've been kind of in the weeds in the last month preparing for yarn crawls. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cool initiative, and like I said, it's a way to help draw attention to just heart awareness. Mm-hmm. So by having just a bunch of newborn babies at various hospitals wearing the hats, little red hats, and so they're looking for volunteers to knit and crochet, and also volunteers to donate the yarn as well. So you go through your stash and are realizing you've got a bunch of red acrylic or red washable wool that's a good size, call your American Heart Association, your local chapter, and see if they need it for their project as well.
So local cities might be having their own drive. If you happen to be in San Antonio, call me or call the American Heart Association, and we'll be happy to help collect your yarn or collect the hats that you've already done.
Or collect hats as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it should be good.
Oh. Another way to help out.
Yes.
And look at the baby. They're so cute.
Little baby.
Yay! So what else do we got? That's it? What's this? Oh, that's mustache.
I think it is.
Oh, so I did want to do something on Instagram, and this is kind of like if y'all want to participate. So I've kind of realized that a lot of us that work full time, like we don't, like, I don't know about y'all, but I use my lunch break to run errands or eat really quick in between meetings or do this or still eat at my desk and answer the phone or
do you get a lunch break?
Any of those number of things. So I wanted to take back my lunch break. So the reason I've gotten so far in this hat is because I've been knitting on my lunch break. I take my 15 or 20 minutes and eat my lunch and use my other 30 minutes or however much time I have left and knit. And the weather's going to turn cooler. And we've had some beautiful days outside. Mm-hmm. So I'm start a little Instagram hashtag take back my lunch break.
Take back my lunch break. I just need to
take
a little.
Yes,
y'all
you do.
Y'all be looking for that. So
I will.
That's harder when you're in business for yourself.
Yeah.
You tend to not get lunch breaks.
Oh, no,
a teacher.
And then they get in trouble if I take a lunch because, God forbid, I'm not in the shop. But
right.
So I'm going to turn off all the lights and hide in the corner and eat my little snacks.
So, but it's just something we need to do.
That's awesome.
I love that
to
hashtag.
center ourselves and relieve our stress and, stuff like that. Because it gets to be, sometimes it gets to be a bit much.
I always carry a project, mostly a sock project, because it's kind of easy to have. Because sometimes, I always wonder if something's going to happen. I get stuck in the elevator, going up to the 8th floor of my building, and I might as well knit. If I'm stuck in the elevator, of course it's never happened, but I always carry my knitting with me. Mm-hmm. Never know. But there have been times where it's like you're waiting for something to finish up, or you're like, too close in for a project. It's kind of nice to take a few minutes.
I've gotten out of that habit of carrying anything with me. So I had, nothing. I would eat my lunch and then I would sit there playing on my phone and checking my emails and answering emails and doing whatever. And it's, while that stuff is fine, it's just, I don't know, maybe not the best use.
Well, it's like either you never stop with the input.
You don't unplug.
There's always input.
That's a good point.
It's just time to just kind of shut it down and just.
It's hard because I feel sometimes a little weird at my desk knitting because it's like, well, why aren't you working?
Right.
So I usually, if I do take a little 10-minute breather just to get away from the computer, from everything, I'll go into our break room, which is nice. And most people, at the beginning, it was kind of tough because people are like, what are you doing? What are you working on? What's going on? And it's like, I don't want to spend my 10 minutes explaining. I just want to knit. But I kind of set my timer sometimes. I haven't done that in a while. I was doing that every once in a while. I like the idea, Amanda.
If y'all want to join us, then look for the hashtag. Hashtag it. And
say it again.
A hashtag take back my lunch break.
Take back my lunch break.
At least it has a hashtag.
Oh, that's right.
It's today.
Yeah, Insta Stitch Night on Sundays. That's right. So
and it's Sunday.
And it is Sunday. We're recording on Sunday afternoon. So Sunday evenings in your time zone, you just use the hashtag #InstaStitchNight. It's not limited to anything. It can be cross stitch, crochet. I've had a few people sewing as well, which is really cool. And you just kind of do your work in progress. I like to also include whatever you're drinking because I'm always thirsty. And want to quench that thirst. And it's a nice way for people. Through Instagram, I've connected with people who live in remote or rural areas who may not have a knitting group. I feel like we're really lucky because we have our stitch night on Thursdays, and there's other groups all over town that meet on different days of the week. So it's just a way to kind of gather around a hashtag to kind of check progress on each other's projects and make new friends. So it's fun, really casual.
Keep it cash.
Keep it casual. So I'm wondering how long our time has been. So
I think we've been very, very chatty today.
yes, we were like, what are we going to talk about?
That's the way it goes, right? You don't know what you're going to say until you start talking, and then it's just all.
And you just say like a magic word like
Say everything.
Zelda, and then
It launches me into a 20-minute diatribe.
that was awesome. I know. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to our show this afternoon, and you have a fantastic stitching week.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.